hit. You compare it what you had yesterday or with the similar mail you took before. So analysis is what you do consciously, unconsciously. So, and what we just be doing is using a tool, Python, to actually bring out insights. Okay, so just a quick one before we go into the practical practical section. I'm sure we are all aware that it's going to be very practical and going to be hands-on, and then our notebooks are ready. Okay, so if you have not launched yours, you can just do that. And in the next few minutes, I will take us through who we are, data science, this network, and then our vision and what we want to do, what we are doing. Okay, so you're welcome to Python for data analysis end-to-end. And okay, so data scientist network. So our vision. Okay, so this is the agenda. Okay, and then this the vision for data scientist network. So we are committed to raising a million AI talent, and also build AI solutions that improve the quality of life and well-being of 2 billion people in the emerging market. So our vision is to raise a million AI talent. Okay? And then we are focused to do this, to achieve this, to build, to raise a million AI talent and to build solutions, AI solutions that will improve the quality of life and well-being of 2 billion people in the emerging market. We are focusing on three core areas, which is community for learning and research, product development for social impact, partnership for solution delivery. So these are the three areas that we are focusing on, okay, to achieve our vision. Now, this is how we have evolved over the years, from 2016 to 2021, okay, from a learning community to research and social good application to corporate support, to startups, ventures, AI vertical partnership, and AI for national development. So this is what we've been doing, and this is what we are all about. Okay. So as I've earlier said that we are involved in learning. Okay, so DSN, we are the #1 artificial intelligence learning community and solution delivery network. So we won the Mata Impact Award at Deep Learning Number 2019. Yes, I'm sure you're excited about that. We're also excited. Okay, and we are into research, and so we also won the best academic poster at the 21st edition of the Global Economic and Competition Conference. Yeah. So that's a shared trust to end poverty and promote financial inclusion. So these are part of what we have been doing in order to raise the million AI talent and also build AI solution that will impact the life of the 2 billion people in the emerging market. We are also the only African finalist at the 2021 X Prize competition. Yeah, we built an advanced algorithm to address COVID-19. Yeah, yes, that's a big one. Yeah, we were the only African finalist at that competition, and that's what we represent, and that's what we do. Okay, and we are involved in. There's no way there can be innovations without research. Okay, so our academic paper was presented at the foremost global scientific and practitioner AI conferences. We presented it there, our works, our academics, our research. And then I'm sure this is not new to us. This is our beginner artificial intelligence and Python programming textbook for primary and junior secondary school So we are the first to do this in Africa. We want to catch them young. The earlier, the better. Imagine you have been exposed to Python as early as you're a teenager, even as a kid. It's going to be very also. You must have done a lot of stuff, good stuff, build a lot of solutions right now. So to create a better platform for the coming ones, we released the first artificial intelligence and Python book for elementary students and beginners in Africa. So it's available. You can get it on Amazon as displayed on the screen. You can get it on all of those stores. And awesome, you're going to enjoy it. I've gone. It's awesome. You want to leave all the textbook. Okay, so we have a dedicated AI research lab at Yaba, Lagos. Okay, so our hub in Yaba, Lagos, this looks like, and there's the training room, and then we have a robotics lab too, with a lot of robots for robotics. Okay. Now, two products of ours was initiated, conceptualized, and developed by DSN. They selected in the 2021 Global Top 100 AI Products by UNESCO. Yes, so two of our products was in the top 100. Okay, where we want to build solutions, AI solutions that we improve the well-being of the 2 billion. And then we are getting there. Two of our products made it to the top 100 AI products by UNESCO. That's exciting, and that's a good one for us and for the community at large. And Africa too, Africa. Okay, so our dual business model for global impact through the SN AI innovation. So, since our vision is to raise the million AI talent and also the 2 billion, to improve the quality of life of the 2 billion people in emerging markets. So we are focused in these areas: the career tech, fintech, retail tech, edutech, platform tech, and the ed tech. Now, this is the good news. I'm sure it's not new to some of us, but your solution can actually be incubated by us at DSN AI Startup Lab. Yes, so we have done it. We have incubated the startups, as you can see on the screen. Okay, we have incubated them, and then very soon we have another incubation stage, another incubation for AI startups, just AI. So your solution, probably after this class and after getting building a solution in AI, you can actually come in and then be incubated. You'll be incubated, given the necessary support to start your own company, an AI startup company. So we are being supported by our advisory board members, and then as you can see them on the screen, they are awesome and doing well where they are. Okay, now we have a community. So we have a community, and we have over 70 communities now, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Yeah, so you can actually join our community, and then if you don't have a membership ID yet, it is very good for you to get it now. Get it now, because there are a lot of opportunities and benefits attached to it. Okay, so you can just use this link, and my colleagues on the call will drop you some links that can be used to register, and then also very important links. So you can just check the chat box to get those links. You can also scan this barcode to get it. So data science. So I'll just give a brief on what data science is. Okay, just a few definitions on what data science is, and then we are going to actually get to know some rules. I'm going to list them, and then the life cycle, okay, and types of analysis. We have different types of analysis. I want to be looking into that too. Okay. Okay, so what's data science? I'm sure a lot of us must have been answering that, what data science is. Okay, if you have an answer, you can just drop it in the chat box. Okay, so data science, I just, from my understanding, just came up with a simple definition that can actually help us to understand what data science is. We can simply define data science as the science of data. Okay, yeah, science of data, yeah. Yeah, so any science study of data, using data for decision making, just all of it, we can call it data science. But just to be specific and to give it a boundary, you can just say data science is the most disciplinary field. Why? Because it's a lot of different fields comes together to actually make data science. So we have fields like programming, computer science. Yeah, also the domain knowledge is also very, very important. Okay. Yini Abuja. Okay. Oh, probably you are waiting for you next. Yeah. So my colleagues will be dropping some links there that you can, and email that you can actually reach out to help in doing all of this, especially setting up a community where we don't have. Okay, because we want to. Our vision is to democratize the AI learning, and also demystify it. So we want it to be everywhere. AI everywhere. This AI every day. So we also have AI everywhere. So that's where our communities comes in, where we go and spread the gospel of artificial intelligence. Okay, so let's just continue what I was explaining. What's data science? Oh, yes, it's made available today. So data science is a multidisciplinary field that involves all the process of using data to solve problems and foster decision making, irrespective of the tool. Yeah, either of the two used, and so far you are using data. So from the beginning to the ending, it's just data science. From the gathering of the data, or even from the problem, stating the problem, okay, to telling the story, data science, why you use data. So data must be used, okay, irrespective of the two, Excel, SPSS, Python, R, irrespective of the two used, okay, yeah, okay, thank you very much, Olawale. So you are just going to be reached out to. We're going to drop a mail that you can actually send your request to, while we give you the necessary thing to do. And the link to also create a community will also be dropped in the chat box, so that anyone who is interested in creating a community in their area, whether the campus or city, they can actually apply, and then we can take the person through the process of creating a community. So irrespective of your tool, so it's not compulsory. It's a big tool. So far, you are just solving a problem with data. Because why should you do something when it's not solving a problem? So there's a problem, and then how do you solve it? So and use data to solve it. Then you are doing data science. So, okay, so it starts from the identification of the problem to reporting the insight. Yeah, it starts from the identification of the problem. For example, we have a problem with power in Nigeria. Okay, it's a very good problem. So can we use data to solve that? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can use it. We can use data to solve it. Yeah, some areas need more power than the other areas. Okay, so can we just, the little power that we have, can we just make it appropriate? Some needs power at night, some needs it in the afternoon. Probably the residential areas, they need power more at night. So we are analyzing it. So this area uses more power at night. So let's give them more power. Let's it be available for them at night. So, and then those areas that are commercial, they will be needing power in the what? In the afternoon. So let's give it to them. We are not generating much, but we are, the little we have, we are optimizing it. We are sharing it appropriately. You can use data science to do that. Wow. So, okay, so that's data science. What's data? Then data is just an unprocessed information. Yeah, it's an information, but it's not processed. Yeah, it's gold, but it's still an ore. It's not refined. Okay, so that's data. It's a gold. It's just like gold ore, but not yet refined. So data is an information, but yet unprocessed. So that's just what data is. So if you are asked what data is, you can just say that. I remember in primary schools, then they taught data. So data is what? Raw facts, right? Yeah, it's raw facts. So it is not yet what you can bank on immediately, but after being processed, it becomes an information that can actually help in making decisions. Please kindly confirm if you are getting what I'm saying, and then if you understand what data science is or what data is as far as this class is concerned. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, just let's use the chat. Let's use the chat box. Okay, please. Let's just use the chat box to be good, so that we can actually have a good quality. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's just move to the next slide. Okay, cool. So thank you. I think I'm getting some feedbacks. Okay, so let me just check. Right on. Thank you very much. You're fine. Okay, so let's look at some rules and tools in data science. Yeah. So let me just speak to this slide. Types, let me just go back. Excuse me. Okay, so rules and tools in data science. I earlier said that data science starts from gathering the data to what? Telling the story. So we have some professions. I'm just going to list like 3. Okay, that's in between. Okay, so the in between. So we have the data engineer. So data engineer is one that stores the data, makes it ready, for use, makes it useful, makes the raw data useful. Are you getting it? So they're the one that work with databases and do all of those stuff, and just they clean it, they get data, they just prepare it and make it ready, to be used. So that's a data engineer. So you can be a data engineer. So you just make sure they are the one that works with those infrastructures and architecture. So they just make it ready. They make it useful. They make it ready in a usable format. Yeah, that's a data engineer. Why we have a data analyst. So a data analyst is the one that analyzes it. Are you getting it? So it's the one that brings out the insights, while we have data scientists that goes further to building of model and what's it now? Predictive models and so on and so forth. Okay, so I've mentioned 3 rules. I've mentioned data engineer, I've mentioned data analyst, and then I've mentioned a data scientist. Okay, good. So let me just go to the life cycle of data science, the life cycle, data science life cycle. So I start from data collection. So there are some literatures that we say that we start from the identification of the problem. Yeah. So from identifying the problem, you have started. Then after identifying the problem, you need to decide on the type of data that you need. For example, the power problem that I just shared with us. Okay. So the power issue in Nigeria that I just shared. So what kind of data do you think we'll be needing to do that? Can someone just drop in the chat box the kind of data I'll be using to allocate the appropriate power? I mean, the power they need at a particular time, for a locality. What kind of data do you think we need? Probably we need their consumption rate in each locality per time, right? Okay, yeah, so we want to know from evening 4 to this time, has it increased? So if it increased, it means that that area is what is residential, right? So if it is residential, it means that what they will be needing more at night, and then in the afternoon we can actually take it away and give it to the commercial areas. I get timeline or duration. Thank you very much, Odoayo. Thank you very much for that. That's cool. Yeah, timeline of duration. So that will actually help us to do that. Okay, so we determine the type of data we want, and then we gather the data. Okay, we gather the data. After gathering the data, then we need to store it and make it clean, make it ready for what? Make it ready for what's it now? For use. Yeah, because data comes very dirty. Just have to. I know we have different sources of data. Different types of data and different sources. We can actually source data from the web. There are also open sources where we can get data. You can also get data from signals, sensors, surveys, as we do in our various research in our institutions, okay, where we just distribute surveys and we just gather data. Okay, good. And maintenance talks to keeping it safe and making it ready for use. So data processing, okay, that's we want to ensure that the data is what is ready to be used for prediction or for analysis. Get it? Okay, while analysis talks to the actual team analyzing, drawing insights, while reporting and storytelling talks to your ability to communicate your insights, communicate your inferences. Are you getting it? Ability to communicate the solution to the appropriate stakeholders. Okay, so I have gone through the cycle. Let me just come over again. Data collection talks to gathering the data. And I said that you can actually collect this data from different sources. Okay, and data maintenance talk to storing and then keeping it ready for use. Okay, same thing for data preprocessing that talks to making sure that the data can actually do what we want it to do. We are actually validating it can do what we want it to do, making it ready for prediction. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Can you confirm you can hear me now today? Okay. Okay. While analyzing talks to we bringing out insights, while reporting and storytelling talks to, we analyze using different statistical formulas and models and then so on and so forth. Okay, right? So while reporting talks to using visuals to bring out our story, to tell the story. It is actually a story, and then it's always an interesting one. Okay, so I would like to know if you have any question. Okay, if you have any question before we move to today's class, today's practical session. Please kindly confirm if you have launched your Colab. We are going to be writing it ourselves. We're going to be writing the code ourselves. Okay. Type of data analysis. Okay, just a minute. Let me just get some things clear here. Okay, so please kindly confirm if the background voice is no longer there. Okay. Okay, it's not clear. Thank you very much. Thanks for your for that. So we have type of data analysis. Now, who can guess what they are? Can you just guess? Just guess and just drop it in the chat box before I just go to the next slide. Just drop it in the chat box. You don't need to unmute. Okay. Data analysis, data analysis. Okay. Data analysis, analyze data. Okay, just types of, okay, predictive, thank you. Okay, thank you, Kichuku. Predictive, good. Okay, another one. Explanatory data analysis, descriptive and inferential. Okay, descriptive, okay, data analytics. Inferential, diagnostic data analytics. Okay, there's one that we have not mentioned. There's one that I've not mentioned. Prescriptive, Daniel, thank you. Yeah. So we have these four major ones, data analysis that we'll be speaking to, just highlight today. Okay, just let me just do that. Okay, so we have the four. We have the descriptive that talks to what happened, you know. Yeah, so we just want to know what happened. We want to know the mean, who is the tallest in the class. Okay, let's continue with our example, power grid. Okay, what community consumes the highest, who consumes more, uses more power? Okay, what area? No, we are just like, what happened? You know, what happened? That's what descriptive talks to. What happened? What's the mean? Our descriptive statistics, mean, median, mode. That's descriptive analysis. So, okay. Why diagnostic talks to? Why did it happen? You know, like why? You want to diagnose, you know, that goes deeper, right? Yes, it goes deeper. Like, okay, these guys are using more light than these guys. This community are using more light, more power. They're consuming more power than this community. Why? We are diagnosing, you know, want to know why, you know? So that talks to diagnostic. So when you see, when you have a question that talks to why, then you are diagnosing, you want to know why an event happened. So why is it that rain is not falling? You know, the climate has changed, you know, and then it's not used to, it's no longer the way we used to have it. You know, it's now hotter or it's now colder. Okay, why? So diagnostic, that's what it talks to. You want to diagnose, you want to know why an event or why an anomaly, for example, happened. Okay, why we have the predictives? Yeah, predictive. I'm sure from the name predict, we can actually okay, we can actually predict what it means. Good. Yeah, so we can actually predict it, right? Okay, so just let someone just drop that before I just give my own simple explanation to predictive analysis. Okay, so who's doing that first? Okay, so as we expect the person that will be dropping that. So predictive analysis talks to what will happen in the future, right? Yeah, what will happen in the future. Like, want to know what will happen. Okay, now it has changed, the weather has changed. Now, if it changed now, then forecast, thank you for that one. So what will now happen in the future? Okay, so you can actually use that to predict. So if you have this pattern now, you know, so what can we, so we can use the present pattern, the pattern from history to actually predict what will happen in the future, you know. Okay, you can use it to predict what will happen in the future. So that talks to predictive analysis, what will happen in the future. So we want to know what will happen in the future. Okay, and the last type that mentioned is what the prescriptive. Okay, you know what happened, you know why it happened, and then you know what will happen, and then you want to get the best course, you know, to arrive, you know, like prescribing, a medical doctor giving the prescription, you know. So that's just it. Want to know, can you give me how to best optimize this? Okay, can you, how the best course, you know, to achieve, to achieve a goal? Okay, want to know. okay, this is what I want. Okay, this is what happened. This is why it happened, and this is what I want. So how do we get there? Come, that is it. Prescribe. Like Google Map prescribing the best route. So that's just it. That's prescriptive analysis. Okay, so for today, I don't know if you have any question, you can just drop it in the chat box. Let me just attend to questions in the next 2 minutes. Okay, if you have any question, you can just drop it in the chat box as we attend to question in the next few minutes before we continue with the class. Wow, thank you, Afolabi. You have learned a new thing. That's a very good feedback. Wow. Please kindly drop your favorite emoji to just to show that. Yeah, that can just fire the power and all of those stuff. It's always very interesting. Thank you very much, Courage. Okay, so questions. I'm waiting for questions. If you don't have questions, I'm going to ask my question. Okay, can you take the type of data analysis again? Okay, is predictive the same as forecasting? Yeah. Yes, forecasting is predictive. So, okay, let me just go over it again. I said we have 4 major types, right? Let's mention it together. As you are listening it, I will do what? I will be mentioning it here. So the first is what? Descriptive. Okay, so you are listening it on the chat box. I'm also mentioning it here. So let's not be doing that. Okay. The second is what? Diagnostic. The third is what? Predictive, and the fourth is what? Prescriptive. So prescriptive talks to what? How do we get our result? How do we get the best? You have a goal. How do we get there? You have where you're going. How do we do it? Descriptive talks to what happened. Okay. Diagnostic, why it happened. Predictive, or what will happen in the future. Why prescriptive? How do we go about it? How do we get the best? You have a goal, and how do we get there? So it's prescribing the best route. Like I give an example of Google Map. Okay, I think we have some questions here. Thank you very much, Gordon, for dropping those for dropping the list. Oh, definitely, the video is on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube, so you can always get it there. Prediction, the accuracy is dependent on a lot of things. The accuracy of a prediction is dependent on a lot of things. Number one, how reliable is your data? Yes, if your data is reliable, can your data actually answer it? Like that, okay, the algorithm that you used. And then normally, yeah, we don't always have that 100%. It's probability. Okay, so the accuracy is always between, and then there are chances, that, but it makes decision very fast, instead of you cracking your brain and building a machine learning model, as was displayed yesterday, a churn analysis using the big ML. Okay, I'm sure some of some people participated in yesterday's class and also into this class. Instead of you thinking as a business owner with this customer leave, you just give those features and it gives you the answer. At least it guides you, it guides you to making decisions very fast. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Kim. Thank you very much, Olawale, for dropping that addition. So, okay, so last class, we had a section, we treated 2 libraries in Python. We treated NumPy and Pandas. Yes, okay. And then for this class, we believe that a lot of us have a basic knowledge in Python. Okay, so we are just now using that knowledge we are not using it, the tool, our knowledge in Python to analyze data. So that's just it. And it's going to be very simple and it's going to be very interactive. So as usual, So let me just share my collab. Also launch yours. So immediately you finish launching yours, just let me know, confirm. I need 10 responses to confirm that you have launched your collab. Okay, so 10 responses. Okay, so okay, I have one already. Okay, just go to collab. Can just search collab on what's it now? On Google. Just search Google collab and then it will actually give you that. So I'll be dropping the link to the data set we'll be using. So as you have seen on the screen, it's a student performance. What's it now? We want to check. We want to know some influences. What is actually influencing the performance of students? So we'll just be doing some few bar charts. Be creating few columns, and what else we'll be doing? I just be drawing insight from it. So, and then we'll be kind of descriptive and diagnostic. Yeah, so we'll be stopping there. Descriptive and diagnostic. So that's what we'll be doing. I launched a fresh page. So we also launched a fresh page so that we can just do it together, and then it can be very easy for us to what. We are launching Google Colab. Can someone just drop thank you very much, Jeremiah, for doing that. So that, can you see the link? So we can just click on it, and a new, what was it now? A new, just get a new, just create a new notebook, and then you are good to go. Okay, I need a few more people to confirm. So let me just drop the link here, the link to the, okay, just let me just drop it here. Okay, thank you. So just by clicking that, you have access, you can just download the CSV file that I'll be using today. Okay. If you have a Google account, you are registered already on Google Colab. So you don't need to, thank you very much. I think you are good to go. Okay, so now, this is my Google Colab. So our aim here is want to check, what's it now? Okay, we want to check the factors that are actually influencing student performance. So we are going to first load our data. Now on Google Colab, we have different ways of loading your data that you can upload it directly. You can just use the link to the data. You can also mount your drive. That's if your data set is on your drive. You can just mount your drive, and then you'll be able to use it. Now, apart from Google Colab, there are other IDEs that you can use for analysis. Are you getting it? Jupyter is a very good one. It's offline. You can use it offline. You can also use it online. Okay, but the reason I'm using this Colab now is because of some plus. It's not So the reason I just prefer using Colab is because number one, you can collaborate. So I can be editing and you can be editing. So you can be working on the same notebook at the same time. Yeah, we can't be working on the same notebook. So working on a project and then we are in different places, you can actually be working on the same notebook at the same time. Okay, so another is it gives me the privilege to use, it gives me the privilege to use GPU, Google GPU. I'm not using my CPU to run it, so I'm using Google GPU. So it's easier and it makes it cool for me. Okay, so now what I'm using, I'll just be uploading it directly. I getting it, so and that's just the simplest. I can also mount my drive and get it from there. Probably I'm just going to use this tool so that you can actually have two ways to doing that. So let me upload it. So I have the file here. Can you see it? And then let me just open. Now, the file has been uploaded. So my file is available. Get it? Good. Now, okay, the file is available. Now I can also mount my drive. So if I want to mount my drive, I can just start if the folder is what is on the drive, if the file is on the drive. Okay, so I'm mounting my drive. Okay, so this is my drive. So I can just locate what's it now? That's what's the name? Student. Can you see it here? So it's here. So I can use either of the two. You can also use the link and to also load them. So now the first thing you do is to first load the necessary libraries. Yeah, the libraries that you need that I'll be using for your analysis. You need to. So there are some libraries that are available and that you can use in Python. You know, for example, we have pandas as discussed last week. Yeah, we also have Seaborn. Okay, please a minute. Okay. Okay. Okay, probably you should check your system. I think. Okay. Okay. Let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. I'll share it again. Can you confirm if you can now see my screen? If it's not okay. Okay. Now, is it clear? Can you confirm if the screen is clear?
Not the screen is not clear. Still displaying my part is displaying dark.
Okay, I think it's okay. I think it's not okay. The screen is not clear. Okay, so we can continue. Okay, you can just drop your chat on what's it now? You can just drop it in the chat box. Okay. So, so we have used two ways now to access our drive. The number one, I mean our data set. The first one, I uploaded it directly from my local drive, and the second one is through the drive. Okay, now I said that we'll be importing some necessary libraries. Okay, so let's import the first library. Import. Let me first import NumPy. MP, right? Okay, and then because of our time, let me just get them there. I already had it somewhere. Okay, you can just let me just get it for us at the time so that we won't be taking a lot of our time writing them one after the other. Okay, let me just be. So import pandas, import NumPy, import Seaborn as SN, and then we have import matplotlib.py plot as P and T. So you can also do the same at your hand. Okay, so this importing the necessary words, necessary libraries. Okay. Importing libraries. Okay, so import libraries. Okay, so after that, we need to read our file, our data set, which is studentsperformance.csv. Right? Okay, so to do that, let's just call this df, or let me call it student record. So, record, okay, equals to PD that we are using pandas to really, okay, CSV, okay, and then you can just copy your parts here and just drop it here. Yeah, okay, and then you need to quote it. Now we already have it here, so we can just write it directly. So in performance, let's just raise this and then let us see how it looks like. Okay, student records .head. So we have started our exploratory data analysis. We want to see what the first is what we load it. The second is what we want to see the first row, the first 5 rows. So we want to know how the table look like. This is structured data, so we want to know how it looks like. Okay, so let's run it. Wow. So can we see it now? So we have column gender, column race and ethnicity, parent level of education, launch, test preparation course, math score, reading score, and writing score. Okay, so can we see now? Yeah, this is cool, right? Good. So these are the what's it now? These are the variables that we have. So we also want to know. Let's first carry out a simple descriptive analysis, and then in pandas, there is a function that we can just use that will make it work very cool. Okay, so for student record, let us get describe. So with describe, we actually help us to give us some descriptive statistics of the data set. Now, so let's do that now. Okay, let me check. Module not found error. Okay, module not found. So what did you actually learn? Did you just follow this, or have you run? Can just run this? This probably have not run your this cell. Please run it, and then after that you can do this. and then give me the feedback. Okay, so it will give us a simple descriptive statistics of our data set, and that describe. So let's students. Okay, student records. Okay, that's describe. So it's a very good one. And then okay, so can we see now? So it gives us the count. So we have 1,000 students, 1,000 entries here. Good. So 1,000 entries. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me check. Let me see if it's the same. Okay, no problem. I'm going to do something now. Yeah. So I'm going to use this one. Okay, at least this is what I shared with you from my drive. Okay, so that you can just use it. So let me just put it here. Okay, no, it's still the same thing. Let me just run it. Okay, can you see it's the same? Okay, it's actually the same. So you can kindly check. I don't know what's not happened. Can someone else confirm that? Can someone else confirm that? So now descriptive. So describing this, we know that for math core. Now let's quickly write our descriptions now. So we want to report based on this simple, what's it now? Okay, on this simple line of code, the result of this simple line of code. So let's just make some inferences from it. Okay, so let me just add test. Okay. It means that what we have 1,000 students, right? That's the first mean. Can't have 1,000 students. Good. The mean for mathematics, it means that the average score for mathematics is 66. The average score for reading score is what? 69. The average score for writing score is what? Is 68. So what can we infer from that? I think the class is good enough, right? Yeah, I think they tried. At least they are all in the range of B. If the average can be B, so a lot of people had A. A lot of people did well. So these are the standard deviation, the deviance from the variation from the mean of each data points, the cumulative. So can we see it here? So this is the standard deviation. This is the minimum. So there's someone that scored 0 in mathematics. I don't know why. There's someone that's the least here for reading score is 17, while the least for writing score is 10. Can we see can you see how we are describing what happened? This is what has happened. This is it. We are just describing. That talks to descriptive analysis as mentioned in the type of analysis. So we are describing it. Again, okay, so 25% of the class, okay, this is 50%, okay, it's not far from the average. Okay, why this is 75%, and then this is the maximum 100%. Okay, so you can draw out a lot of inferences from this. I don't know if you can just list out the inferences, and I just if you can list out the inferences, I can just write them here so that we can be on the same point. This is where the error is coming from. Maths import the matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. Okay. Unjoku, are you using Colab? If you are using Colab, that shouldn't give. I'll just check your what's it now? Check your case. Okay, because Python is case sensitive. Okay, Python is case sensitive. So if your case is not consistent, if it's not consistent with what it ought to be, then it's going to throw an error. So make sure your math they are all in lower cases. Can use as written here, and then make sure that it's correct. The difference between math MAT and MATH. Hope you have gotten it. Okay, let me see. Okay, thank you. Let me see. Let me check it again to confirm. Okay. 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 Okay, just go ahead. Just a few minutes. Okay. Yes, you're right. Okay, so let me just let me give you, I have another one here. Okay. Okay, let me share this. Okay, so we just drop this link. Control V. Okay, so kindly confirm this. I'm sure this is the one I'm using now. So, okay. Okay, yes, this is it. Okay, so. Okay, so I've shared it with you. Okay. Okay, kindly confirm if it's now consistent and if you have loaded it. So I'm waiting for your confirmation so that we can just write some inferences and then we can move on to draw some charts and then it'll be cool for today. Okay, people whose parents are highly educated perform better than those whose parents. How did you know that? Have you done analysis? Based on what you've done, Bridget, wow, it means that I have gone further to carry out this because from this, I don't know how you got that inference from. Okay, but that's cool. So that can be an hypothesis for now. We can check that. Okay. 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 Okay, so this is how you load your data. So this is how you load your data. Let me just do that because if you just get it, you can actually do some stuff on our own, and it's going to be very interesting. Okay. Okay, so after importing your libraries, we use pandas, so we create a data frame, okay, with pandas. Okay, and then we use this function read CSV to so you can bring your data here by uploading it directly from your system for your PC, okay, or by mounting your drive, your Google Drive. So if the data set is in your drive, you can just mount your drive and then you can access it. The way I accessed this one here, can you see? That stores my drive. And then can you see? So it's here. So that's the first step. And the second is use the read CSV to to load it, and then we check the head, and now we have described it. Okay, I think I've answered that. So thank you very much. Kindly confirm if I ask you to drop inferences. Nobody is dropping it. The parent of the female in number 3 has a master's degree level of education. Okay, 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 that's good. This 3 master's degree. Okay, that's why it's called 90. Yes, we can actually compare that. Yeah, and then we are going to be doing that. So we are going to be looking at parental level of education, and we are going to be comparing with their scores. Yeah, we're going to compare with the math scores. And then this will probably, in this class, I'm just going to use one. My aim before was to use test preparation course. Okay, but based on what Bigger just raised now, we are going to use parental level of education. We are going to test it on each of these, okay, to know the ones that performed very well. And then after that, the rest will be your assignment. Because of time, we have 28 minutes left to conclude this section. Okay. So we have our inferences, okay? Now, the first inference is that they did very well. They all performed well. Yeah, they all performed well. We can just infer, generalize, yes. Well, an average of 66%, it's good, you know. An average of 66. They all performed well, generally. Okay, and what else? Yeah, I think, okay, we have a count of 1,000, so we have 1,000 students. Okay, student record. 1,000 student record, and so on. We can go on and go on, based on was a vast understanding in detail in statistics. Okay, so now we need to know if we have missing values. Okay, and we need to know the data type of each of this column, because that will actually determine how the kind of visuals that we can use. Okay, so now to do that, there is a function that we'll be using in pandas called dots. What's that? Dot info. Dot info. Yeah. So dot info will actually give us the information about our data set. Just give us few information about our data set. Okay, so let's quickly do that. Students record, right? Okay, dot info. Okay. Okay, so can you see what Info just returned? Yeah, Info told us that we have 1,000 entries, 0 to 99. We start counting from 0 to 999. Okay, we have 8 columns, and the column number is gender. We have a column name to be gender, index 1, index 0, race, ethnicity, parental level of education, launch, test preparation for course, mathematics score, reading score, and writing score. Okay, so let me add another line of code. So this talks to the non-count. So non-count, talks to the cells, okay, that have no missing value. Yeah. So we have 1,000 no missing value. So which means that there is no missing value in all of this. So our data set is what is complete. We don't have a missing value in any of the what of this what's it now of our data in our data set. Now data types. I know we are aware of data types. We have different data types. Okay, so we have string, right? Objects, that's objects, strings, integer, floats, boolean, etc., etc. Okay, but the ones I mentioned this list, the four I listed are just the major ones. Okay, so integer. So these are integers. Why these are what? Either they are strings. Okay, they are objects called object data types. So they are either strings, they are either categorical in nature, or they are categorical. They are strings. They are text. Why integer talks to their what being a whole number. Okay, so I think it's consistent. I noticed something that our dot describe only carried out this operation on the what on the data set with what that are integers. Are you getting it? Okay, so it didn't carry it out on test preparation, launch, on others because they are objects. They are either categorical or they are object. Are you getting it? Okay, so that's one thing that we need to also understand. So if you want such to be carried out, probably, or if this was now is now in an object data type, you know, it will carry it out, and then you need to change it. You need to make sure that they are all in correct what's now format, data type format. Okay, so I'm sure most have done this. Now, looking at this code, so let's do some stuffs. Let's add a column, okay, especially for mathematics score. Now that we're looking at mathematics score, you know, I said that we are going to be doing some on our own. So I'm not going to use mathematics score and a parental level of education as a sample, okay, for this class, while you can carry on with others, and then you're going to submit your notebook on. We are going to share a link with you where you submit your notebook where you have tried using carrying out further analysis on it. Okay, so we want to see, want to compare, want to know the level, what parental level of education have on the mathematics score. Okay, so let's see how that happens. So let's first create a column that shows pass or fail. Are you getting it? Okay, so the column was now we contain values that corresponds to whether the student passed the course or failed the course. And you know that the pass mark is always what? Is always 40. Okay, so let me do something. So I've created something. So because of our time, I will just be bringing them in so that it can be. So, but you can just drop your question, and it's so that we can move on. Just let me know if you are together, and then if we need any explanation, you can just do that as I get it done. So the first thing I'm doing here is I created a function. So this is my function, the function I created. So this function we actually is going to be plotting, going to be making some plots for me. Are you getting it? So it's going to be making some plots for me. So this is the column name, and why this is the what? The data. Okay, so it's going to be making some plots for me. So okay, let me see. if okay. So our column is, let's define our column. So our column here, the column that we want to count is what? Okay, math score, right? Okay, let's look at math score. Let's count our math score. Okay, and then we can also count this. We can also visualize this. We can use this function now that I've defined to count any of this. Okay, so let's first count, okay, let's count parental level of education so that probably we can know the number, how the, those that with bachelor degrees to some college and those guys. So let's just know that. But before we do that, I will first, okay, let's do that first. Okay, so our goal, okay, so let's make X, okay, parental level B, parent, okay, let's just name left edu. Left edu is equals to, so last level of education is equals to student record. Okay, okay, so let's select that column. Okay, so the name of the column is what? Parental level of education. We can just copy it and then let's place it here for. Okay, let me see. I think okay, yeah. Code crushed. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it's actually for beginners. Yeah, it's actually for beginners in data analysis. But we expect that you must have done some stuff like, or you must have learned some basic of Python. But it's actually, but even without that, you can still understand what I'm saying. If you can just understand, I've not even used matplotlib at all. And I don't think I will be okay. I've not used it at all. So I used it here, but I've used it in the definition. Okay, but it's just a library that you can actually read the documentation and be able to apply on your own. But the basic thing here, what we are trying to achieve here is get the fundamentals, and that was why we started with what data science is, the type of analysis. Just wanted to get the fundamentals so that in subsequent class we can build on it, number one, and number two, you can also continue learning on your own, but just get the concept right, and then you can do a lot of things, a lot of can perform a lot of magic yourself. Okay, good. So, and then our file is our data set, right? So let's just give it df equals to okay, our data set, which is student record. Okay, student record. So now let's call our function, which is vis. So we want to visualize now. Okay, so vis, okay, vis column left, okay, left edu, left edu, and the data is what df. Okay, so let's run this. Good. Can you see this beautiful chart? Yes, yes, you need to be familiar with Python, but still, when you get the fundamentals, are you getting it, Kim? When you get the fundamentals, you can actually pressure. So we have a lot of Python courses, a lot of beginners to Python courses on our YouTube channel, as it has been shared. So our YouTube link has been shared, and I know it's going to share it again so that you can actually use it. So you can actually use it to brush up yourself, and also you can follow us up so that in subsequent times we can actually what's it now? Subsequent meetups and trainings you can join. Okay, and then it's going to be awesome. I'm going to enjoy it. So can you see now? We can draw an inference from this, right? So who's drawing the first inference? We have a lot, guys, a lot. We have few master degrees parents. Okay, that's normal, right? So it will be abnormal if you have more master's degree parents than the others. it will be abnormal. So high school, so just finished high school, okay, college, okay, associate degrees, okay. So we can just say that more of the students are just college and then what? And associate degrees, right? So that's the first inference, right? Now we are still on what happened. We are still trying to, we are describing the data. Are you getting it? So we are still describing the data. So we are describing, we want to know what happened. We want to know, what happened. We want to know what is in the data. Okay, yeah. So it's actually, it can be exploratory data analysis, which means you are exploring it for you yourself as a data analyst to understand the data. Are you getting it? So you want you to understand the data. That explanatory data analysis. Why it goes further to explanatory data analysis, where you are explaining to the stakeholders, you are telling them what their data looks like and the insights you're able to bring out from it. Okay, so this can be explanatory and be what? Explanatory, depending on the question that you are answering. You get it? So it's dependent on the question you are answering. Okay, now if the question was what degree, okay, let me call this question very well. Like, we want to know the composition of the parental level of education. So we want to know the level of education of parents, the composition. Are you getting it? So this is just what we just did. What we just did is we want to know the composition. So we can easily say that we have low number of parents that hold a master's degree. We have a lot between a lot of parents with college and high schools, but the lowest is what is this master's degree. I get in. So we can also do that for lunch. We want to know, do they take lunch or want to know we want to know how well fed are these students. Are they being fed well? Are they actually eating well? Are you getting it? Okay, so let us compare. Let's now check for lunch. Okay. So we just did for what? Parents' level of education. So let us now do the same thing for lunch. So okay, I don't know if you're getting it. I can even pause here to make sure that. Okay, please, I want to know, is there any difference between using Python to visualize and using Excel to visualize? Now, I explain data science, what is now that irrespective of the tool you are using, number one, so far you are solving the problem using data, irrespective of the tool, whether Excel, SPSS, Python. It's just that number one, one is more flexible than the other. You know, although Excel has been made somehow flexible now with some queries that you can write and all of those stuff that you can do on it. Okay, but Python is also very simple. As you can see, they are just normal English. Count plot. So count plot, what does count plot do? Count plot will count the instances of each. For example, for bachelor's degree, he counted it and he plotted it against the count. Can you see? So it just plots it against the count. So it creates a count and it creates a bar chart. So Python import pandas are speedy, just very easy. So that's just it. So testing launch, that means that you want to find out if the kind of foods yes. Now we know that they are average, they are doing very well. So we can know, let us know if. Thank you very much, Bridget. You are a data analyst. Okay. So you're actually giving us the questions. Okay, good. So I want to know if she tells the logic, I want to know if the food is actually what is it now? It actually influences it. So let's quickly test lunch and let's see if standard is more than the free or reduced or not. So let's quickly do that. So don't forget that I've created this function. So I won't be writing this over and over and over. What I'll just be doing is I'll just be calling this function. Okay, so let me just define my my code and my file. Okay, so now we are using what? Okay, because of our time, let me just copy this. Okay, so let me just copy this. Okay, now it's lunch, right? So we can even use to determine how wealthy they are. You know, if you are eating very well, probably you are from an influential home. I get it. And if you are not eating very well, probably you are not. The home is not there. So we can check the welfare. We can know the economic, the social. What's it called? The how wealthy the student, the parent of the student in that school is. Okay, so in lunch, so we are now using, what's the name of our data set? Lunch, right? Okay, it's lunch. Okay, then let me use lunch. Let me use, okay, can I use lunch? Lunch. One. Let me just use lunch one. I don't want it to be the same. So let me now, this, our column is what? Lunch one. Lunch one, while data set is still DF. Don't forget that we have defined DF here as our data set. So let me just launch it. Wow. Standard. So we have a lot. Can you see? Over 700 of the students take standard mail. While we have three, what's it now? Below 400. Below 400 that takes what's free. So we can say more of the students in this institution, in this school, they are from a wealthy home. At least they can afford that. Okay. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so I'm sure we've been able to draw few insights from this. So we can go further to creating. Let's create a column that that to classify this to fail and pass, and then we can also draw a plot chart. You can count it to know the number of people that failed and number of people that passed in a particular what's the name? A particular exam. So I've created a function for that. Okay. Okay, so let me just paste it here. I've created a function for it already. Okay, so this column, this function, we actually create a new column. Are you getting it? And then I have a pass mark. And this is a new column. This parameters for the new column, while this is for the old column. This is a pass mark. And this is our student record, DF. That's our data. And then this is the new, that's the new name. And then this also the new name. So we just want to know if the values in our column is less than pass mark. This pass mark that we've defined here, then it is fail. But else, then it is pass. So this is a NumPy function that we are using here. So let's quickly do that for math score, right? Okay, so let us know the number of guys that passed and failed math course. So a new column, and then it counts it, and then it gives us the new column. Okay, new call. Okay, can't. So our new. So let me just create the name. Let me just create the name. Let's create it new one. Okay, so this is just going to be the last instance for today. Because of our time, you can just continue with this. You can draw a lot of insights from it, but this is just going to be the last. You're just able to draw a bar chart and then with all of those understanding. Okay, so because of our time, we have 3 more minutes to the end of this class. Okay, so new one. Okay, so our new column, the name of our new column is, okay, let me just create this. Okay, grade. Let me just create grade, math grade. Okay, so that's our math grade. Okay, so that's the new. Wow. The column is what? Score, right? This is our column. Our column is math score. Let me just copy this. Ctrl+C. While our column is math score. Okay, but let me just define this. Let me just put this here so that new column. Column here is what? Okay, the new one is what? Math grade. Right, the variable here is what? Score, right? That's the new one. The math score. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, let me see. The serial record is not defined. Okay, DF serial record. Let me see what we actually give it here. So it's not student records, it's student record. Okay, so let me just run this and then run this again. Okay, so we have this. Now let's check. Let us check let's check our student record again. Okay, student record again. Okay, that's it. So it ought to have created a new, okay, a new, was it now? A new rule. Can you see it? So we now have math grade. Oh, as what? Okay, let me just create this. Okay, we now have math grade as what? As here. Okay, so can you see this column? This column has been added, so we can use it to actually create our views. So let's just use it to see. Let's create another visuals for math grade. So our v's, okay, our v's is equals to what is it? The column which is math grade, right? Let me see if I just have to define it first. Okay, let me just write math grade. Math grade. Okay, math grade. And our file is DF, right? Our file is DF. Okay, so let me just run it. So it gives us this. So can you see? P. How many people that passed mathematics? You know? Yeah. Okay, so can you see now? So we can actually draw our inference from this. It's okay, right? So it's 2:30 already. I know you have a lot of questions, and then we have to continue this conversation. Definitely, we will continue. Like over 90%. Yeah, cool crush. Can you see now? So this is how we torture the data to bring out information that can actually help us. So they are eating well, they are passing well. Probably the reason some schools are not passing well is because they are not eating well. But that's going to be a discussion for another day. So kindly join our Telegram group, and that's where the conversation is going to continue, because we have to end this call now. so that we can actually continue the conversation on the group. Don't forget to join, to watch this video on the YouTube, is there. And also you can get the book, and as earlier was announced that you can get that book on those platforms. So thank you very much for staying to the end. We have about 80. We have a lot of people that started, but this 61 stood to the end. So thank you. That's kudos to everyone. Thanks, Bridget. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so let's continue the conversation in the chat group, Telegram chat group. So thank you very much, and bye for now. See you next class.